today is beautiful. You know, we just getting started.
Yes.
We're just getting it started. You were with us. You were with us in the rising, you know.
Yes. Can you hear me well, Jerome? Was it
I
the
can hear you.
okay? Yeah. So now I'm set up. Ooh, yeah, today's a beautiful day. You. How was your day so far?
So far, so good. You know, I had a nice little walk, was ready for our talk, you know,
Yeah.
ready.
You're more ready than I am so far. I got the time, but yeah, I had a good session with you today. Really, the shaking was the best part. Like I needed that shake today.
You needed that shake
Yeah,
today?
I needed that shake today. And I said it in my hair too. I was like, oh, I need to shake today, you know. So
Yeah. Did anything ache today?
yeah, yesterday, you know, I was upside down for a little too long or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a little misalignment. But I needed that shake, really. I haven't
Eh,
slept since I came here, so
A little. She said a little misalignment. You always on the assignment, you know. You're you're in perfect timing. Why do you go upside down? I love how you and Louisa as well. Louisa does the same thing. You both like to go upside down. When you flip your world upside down and everything else looks right side up, or why do you do that?
why I do that, my answer would probably be silly, but you know, I'm I'm standing up right all day long, so I had to go the other side too. I just think it's a benefit by, you know, being on the opposite. I just find, you know, quality in balancing the opposite, you know, on everything, right? So since I'm standing up all day, I need to be, you know, upside down. Yeah, that's right. I need to be upside down sometimes, you know. So yeah, no, that's my answer. And plus, I think it's also like, you know, in the beginning it's very difficult because we're always like up, so the blood will just go down and it's like hard. For now, it's normal to me to be upside down. So it's like it's a normal thing. I think it's normal to be upside down, just as being, you know, stand up. What is it called? What is it called when you're standing up? Upside down, and then what's the other word?
Well, I know some people call the upside down inversions, you know, inversions, like to invert your body. And I remember there was a gentleman named, well, he called himself Master of Earth. He had a YouTube channel. He still has it. But years ago, he dropped a whole lot of knowledge, a whole lot of gems on the world on his YouTube channel. And many people might know Master of Earth. But one of the things that he talked about was being upside down. And so you said that the blood goes to the brain. Does it do anything when your blood goes to the brain like that?
Yes, I don't think it goes to the brain anymore. I just don't feel it anymore. But in the beginning, you would feel it. It's like it's like you had your blood just like on one side, you know, and then when you turn it around, it feels like it just opens up something else. But right now, I don't actually feel it. It's more of I can be more still upside down, and then I can be more focused upside down.
So you can be more still, but you said it does take skill.
Yes, it's a practice. I have a lot of other videos where I'm falling, you know. So many times I fell down and everything, but it's a practice, you know. But I think it has nothing to do with the body, it's the mind. It's a practice for the mind. So even though you are like going upside down with the body, it's the mind, the strength is, you know. So it's just practicing for the mind. That's how I see it. I don't see any like body exercise, but I see mind exercise.
I like that, for the mind. So you say less for the body and more for the mind.
Hmm. So when I'm upside down, it's not actually for the body, it's for the mind. Because I'm balancing, you know, and that balance comes from the mind.
Right.
And strength, what I'm holding myself up with, it comes also from the mind. I know my upper body isn't that strong to hold me up, to be honest with you, but I know it's the mind.
The mind.
Yeah.
So wherever the mind goes, the body will follow.
Hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
You can have all the muscles that you want. You know, if your mind is weak, you can't lift anything. You just can't. It doesn't work like that. It's the strength is in the mind, not in the body. You know, the muscle will help you lift a little bit, you know, working with the mind, but if the mind is gone, the muscle is useless.
You remind me of, you know, those times where we hear there's about to be a tragic accident or someone is in danger. And I remember that there was a father of, he had two
Mm-hmm.
daughters, and he was out on the pasture, on the prairie, somewhere on farmland, and his tractor was about to run him over. It was about to roll over him. Somehow he had fell in front of the tractor and it was still going. And then it was on his chest and he was like, he couldn't breathe. It was flattening him. It was crushing him into the earth. And his daughters came over, and with a burst of energy, she lifted this like 2 ton, I don't know even how many thousands of pounds this thing was. She like lifted it up just enough for him to shimmy out of the tractor, you know? But afterwards, like, she couldn't do it. She only could do it in the moment. You say that was her mind that allowed her to
Yes,
do what okay.
it's the mind. There is no weight in anything. The weight is in the mind too. So you say that thing is heavy, right? It's not actually heavy. It's the mind that thinks it's heavy. So once you let go of that, it's not heavy anymore. So yeah.
Okay, okay. And you know, when you get up, because there's a saying like fall down 7 times, get up 8,
Hmm.
you know, that it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. So would you say that when you're, you know, because your balance is one of your talents,
Hmm.
you know, when you're always falling, is that part of your calling to like keep getting back up each time you fall?
If I wasn't falling, I wasn't doing anything. I'm not doing anything, really. And it's yeah, it's the falling that's the fun. To be, it pushes you, you know. But without the falling, nothing is happening. Yeah. And I always say also like it's not how you get in the hole, but it's how you get out. Mhm. That's that's your character. You know, some people like I always say like if you dig a hole for yourself, it's fine. Just know how to get out of it. You know. So if you dig yourself in, dig yourself out. So that's in your character. So if you sit in there, because everybody can dig, you know, if you sit in there, then something else. But it's how you get out. Yeah. You see, this whole thing is a mind, Jerome. This whole thing is a mind. Like we think it's so fascinating that that girl actually lifted that thing up. But don't you think like it's the same when we think it's so heavy? It's not even heavy, but isn't it like fascinating that we really think it's heavy? Hmm. It's the same thing. The mind plays a lot of games, but we have to be alert and aware of it. It's like telekinesis, you know, like
Say again?
when people think they're moving a rock or moving something. Do you really think they're moving something? They think they're moving something, but do you really think they're moving something? No, they just bend in the mind and believing there's nothing there in the first place.
There is no spoon.
Exactly.
Okay, so the little boy that told Neo there's no
Hmm.
spoon.
It's just like accepting there's nothing there already, you know, and you think you made something disappear. It wasn't there.
Okay, okay, Nabiha, how did you get to the point where you realized and became aware that there was nothing there?
No, I'm still working. I'm still working on it, you know. I really believe this is here, but it's not, you know. So I have to like switch sometimes, but you know, that's how it goes. I think that's part of life, you know. But it's very important to be aware of both sides, you know. The part where you think is real, you also have to know it's not real equally. That's in the balance.
Equally. So as much as you know it's there, you have to be aware of the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Equally.
Mm-hmm. But I know this item is there. I can swear that it's there, but where-
Okay. Okay. Now, how does the awareness that it is not there, how does that help you?
um, it helps me accept that everything is, you know, it's like, I always say it's just a mind thing. It's a mind thing. You know, this whole thing is based on mind, you know, so I'm still trying to understand, like, okay, I know I've accepted that this is not it. It's not here and it's there. Um, but then at the same time, it helps me to be present. Yeah, that's what it is. It helps me to be present because when I'm in the present, nothing has to exist and everything can also exist. It doesn't matter, you know. So it helps me to be present.
Now, there's different ways of looking at it doesn't matter, you know, like nothing matters. You know, someone can say, okay, you know, I don't care. Nothing matters. While someone else could say, well, nothing matters, you know, with a smile on their face.
Yeah,
So, like, what's the difference between nothing matters and nothing matters?
it's just the emotion, feeling connected to it. It's an internal feeling, how the person feels on the inside. You know, that's the only thing that changes it, the mindset.
Right. So, what is your internal feeling of nothing matters?
When I,
What is that feeling that you connect with?
huh, it's not reckless. It's not like, oh, nothing matters. Oh, it's not like in a depressive way, like, oh my God, nothing matters. It's not that. It's just like acceptance that nothing and everything matters. It's the same. It's just peace. It don't matter, you know? Like it's fine. I don't know how to explain it. It's just fine. Because even if you chase something and trying to understand something and this, you just going further away from yourself, you know. But once you accept that everything just is, you come closer to yourself. So we always tend to think like, you know, we have to understand things from outside of ourselves. But, you know, it's just understand yourself and you would understand the rest.
Yeah, you know, Aslahan is down here. Just Ash, shout out to Aslahan. She said non-attachment.
Yes, kind of. Yeah, no attachment. Not
Non-attachment.
even to yourself,
Mm.
you know. So like it's hmm, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, like we identify ourselves with everything. It's not like nobody identify themselves with nothing. Why don't you identify yourself with nothing? If you are identifying yourself with everything, learn how to identify yourself with nothing. Like you're nothing too, you know? Just accept that part also. So it's just in the balance of the duality, you know, no matter what it is, just in the balance of it. That's where I find like some click. I don't know how to explain. That's what my logic is, you know, like when I always balance the two, that's in the middle, that's where I feel like I can breathe.
Mm. And when you're not in balance, do you feel like you're suffocating?
Hmm. When you're not back.
Because you said you can breathe
Yeah.
when you're like, when you come back to that acceptance, when you
Yeah.
come back to them, you can breathe.
I think when you're not in alignment, I think it feels like, you know, everything just happening, you know, to you and you're not aware of it. You're just not there in a sense. You know, it's just happening because everything keep on happening. It still will keep on happening, you know, whether you're there or not. Life is just happening, you know. So in a way, when you're not in alignment, life will just happen to you. Things will just happen, you know, and you're not aware of it. So if that was the question.
And peace and love, Aslahan. She said peace and love to you both. Peace and love.
Love to
You,
you too.
you know, you remind me as well, Nabiha, that when you're not aware, things are just happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the book that we've been reading, Shadow of the Kyoshi, There's a question that everyone's been asking Kiyoshi, a lot of people. You know, she got asked by Yoon at one point. She got asked by the Fire Lord Zoryu. And then she also got asked by another lady in the Fire Nation. They all asked her, do you play Pai Sho? And Pai Sho is the equivalent of chess. That's like a strategic game inside the world of Avatar, you know? And it's like they're asking her that because with all the political machinations going on, everybody scheming and everybody, you know, doing all these different things behind the scenes, there are so many things that are going on that she's not aware of, you know?
Yeah. It's not, you don't always have to be aware of everything outside of yourself, you know? So Kiyoshi, she don't even question a lot of things either. Like, she didn't ask her friend a lot of questions that was something other people would ask, you know? So in a sense, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Sometimes you don't have to know everything. Sometimes things reveals to you when you need them. So it's not like, you know, if maybe she already knows the rule of the game. Maybe she don't have to play, you know? Maybe it's there, you know? But I really believe that I don't believe in seeking stuff. I think things reveals to you, you know, whatever that you're aligned with. And as long as you're working on yourself and align yourself, everything that's aligned with you will also attract you. You know? Whenever
Yeah.
you start to play, you play, right?
So when you know the rules of the game, you no longer have to play. Is that what you said?
You don't have to play. That's why at the end of the day, you just be, you know? You don't have to, like, just like, you know, at one point when you wake up to yourself, you feel the need to tell people to do stuff, to do this. You know, you're playing the game then. And then eventually you just realize you don't. You are the game, you know? So it's like, you know, you're moving through the game, and it's just like, it becomes like a normal flow. You don't agree? What do you think of?
I do feel like there is a difference, you know, in the flow wherever you go, depending on what you know or don't know, you know? So by knowing the rules, you know, and having those jewels, it's like it changes what you are governed by.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Yeah.
like when you talk about the mind, I think about, and I find that government, somebody told me government is like mind
It
control. So
is.
like yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So you can be under your own government though, right? You don't have to depend or rely on something external. Like you said, you can rely on something internal or something eternal.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's not that you can. You should be.
Okay.
You know, you should have. You know, you shouldn't be governed by anything outside of yourself. You know,
Okay.
and that's what this whole planet, like, you know, in different tiers. That's what it's like. You know, everybody think alike. You have to do the same. You know, but like you can, like, it's, you have to have your own internal rules. You know.
Okay. So what's one of the internal rules? One of the rules of Nabiha. One of the rules that you go by, you live by, you flow by, and you grow by.
Hmm. That everyone is equal, and I'm not, you know, um, yeah, that everyone is equal to me. Like, I don't care who you are. You can come to me and say, you God, you're not, you know, higher than me, and I'm not higher than you, you know. So I live by that rule. I never look on anyone. You know, everybody's truth is their truth, you know. So in a sense, that we are all equal. That we're all equal. You know, you can be homeless on the street. You can be a, you know, a king somewhere out there. I don't care. We're all the same, just different, trapped in different mindsets.
You know, with that equality mindset, having everyone on a level playing field, how do you feel when someone is coming to you with questions? You know, when someone is coming to you and they're asking you, and you can tell that they're desperate, you know?
What I like to do is turn their attention towards them, because I don't have the answer, they have the answer. They always think something else has the answer, something outside of yourself, but they have the answer. The answer is within them. So all I can say is, like, look within yourself. Really, I can try all I want. I will never have the answer. So why would I even try? Why would I even preach? Why would I even tell them anything? Like, okay, just look within yourself. Yeah. The answers are always within us, really. But we think, like, I have a lot of people ask me questions daily, pray for me, do this, do that. I don't have any powers that you don't. I don't. It's within you, but you need to find it. So my biggest wish used to be, like, that everybody realize their powers, their true self, really. So we will get there.
You remind me, I remember there was a scene in Black Panther. There was an animated show called Black Panther set in Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a boy who, came up to Black Panther and he said, T'Challa, when we went to the city, this happened and that happened. And, I didn't know what to do. We were reaching out to you. We called your name and you didn't come. And Black Panther sat the boy down and he put his hand on his shoulder and he said, God works through me the same as you. There is nothing that I can achieve that you are not capable of. And the boy was like, his eyes were just smiling and the sun started shining and somebody was like, and that is why he is the Black Panther. Because he showed the boy that the same light was inside, the same light. Yeah.
Important. It's so important. Really, like, I wish everybody could hear that when they were, like, a little kid. And we all could hear that, like, but we believe in the opposite quicker. If somebody tells you, like, oh, you nothing, it's easier for you to believe it. It's weird, but we do.
Why is it easier for you to receive it?
That, I think it's because of it's already within. You think of yourself that way. So it's easier to receive it. But if you already thought of yourself as, something high, something great, then when someone tells you you're great, you would be surprised. You just accept it. But now, since you don't think you're great, since you don't think you're powerful, if somebody tells you that you are, you'd be surprised. Like, oh, okay, but you are. So it's just, maybe what we need is, like, tell each other, remind each other that, because it's just so ridiculous that we just don't know. I'm the one sitting here telling you this, but I have that insecurity within myself. I'm not perfect. I haven't figured anything out. But I know we're trapped in that illusion of thinking, little about ourselves, and it keeps us here.
Wow, Nabiha, I love that message that I used to see on your wall sometimes when you would talk to us, and it would talk about reminding, here's your reminder. If you didn't know how awesome you are, here's your reminder.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you had to recognize your own greatness before others?
Yes, you have to. You have to realize that. I put that actually on my daughter as well, because I feel like I don't have time to go and remind her all the time. What about if I put it on their wall, and just leave it there, and then you can get that reminder. Even if you don't read it, it would just automatically just, come to you, and you'll realize that. So it was just a strategy that I did just to remind her that she's great. If she forgot. Yeah.
What's one of the forms of greatness that you recognize or realize within your daughter that you don't always have the chance to tell her or to let her know?
Oh, it's a lot of things. You know, a lot of things. Just, sometimes the biggest one I know is that, we take words seriously, especially when we were younger. If somebody tells you, oh, you lack this, you will live with that for the rest of your life. So I know also, being in this world, you hear those kind of words, whether it is from a friend, on the internet, somewhere. So I know that she has a lot of that, you know, insecurity coming from other places and stuff. So just to remind them, like, hey, don't have words to hurt you. Don't stick with these words because they're just words. So that we also have to remind ourselves, really, words can hurt, but it's just words. They have no power. They have no power, but they can have an impact on someone's life. So yeah, just to don't take words. I want to remind myself all the time to do that, because it happens all the time. So yeah.
Uh, Go ahead. You got to take that.
Yeah, I had to leave the area. So yeah, sorry about that.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Oh, the light is even more on you now.
Yeah, I know. I'm on the window.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you feel like you've shared or you've told with your daughter?
You can do it for my maker.
Is there anything you've ever shared with your daughter that you wish somebody would have shared with you?
Oh yeah, a lot of things. Just that's just that little reminder that I have her on her wall. Kan du lukke igjen døra for meg, Mickey? Hadde du mannen her? Back i headlet. Today. I'm so sorry. Yes, if I had that reminder on my wall that I just put on her wall, that would be helpful for me.
Why?
Why? Because I think I have lived my whole life thinking that I'm nothing, like less than what I am, really. I thought everybody did that. No? Yeah, I really, really, I had, yeah, some words that hurt me when I was a kid, and I believed in them, basically. So I lived by it.
What were the words that you lived by?
Oh my God, are you gonna ask me? I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's just a lot of things. I can't even come up with so many. I just always felt like I wasn't capable of doing anything because somebody told me that. Or, for example, yeah, I don't have an example like that, but Nej, jag har inte det. Gå nu. Kan du bara lucka dörren för mig, värsten? Yeah, I can't remember one, but
You
yeah,
said somebody told you weren't capable.
yes. In school, I came from Scandinavia. I lived in a town where I was the only brown. So I used to hear a lot of things, yeah.
The only brown in town.
Yes, the only one until I was 11. Then we had some other brown people move in. They were not as brown as me, but they were a little brown. Yeah. Look at you asking me. Yeah.
But they would put you down because you were brown?
Yes. Yes. Like I remember, I can give you one example. Like on Christmas, for example, I would I would always be the gingerbread. I would be dressed up as the gingerbread. And I didn't like that. You know, I wanted to be something else. But they told me I was just good enough as a gingerbread. It sounds funny right now, but yeah. I would be dressed up as a gingerbread every year. Yes. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, don't have me go there. I have a lot of stories about those things, but
Like like a costume, gingerbread costume?
Mhm.
Why did they?
Because I was brown. You can,
Okay. Okay, gingerbread. Got it.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. But what did you want to be? Not what they wanted you to be.
Actually, you know, there was a times I wanted to be Lucia. Hmm. But they only allowed all the blondes to be
Lu
Lucia. Lucia.
Lucia?
Lucia, yeah.
Lucia?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Isn't it called Lucia?
Who's Lucia?
Um, that's Jesus' mother.
Jesus' mother?
Yeah, isn't it Jesus' mother? I'm not Christian. Mary. Yeah, that's Mary. Okay.
Is that Mickey? Was that Mickey? Mickey said, Mary, who you talking about? He said, who you talking?
Oh my God, that's Mary. You see, I don't know anything about religion like that.
Lucia, Lucia.
Yes, we have to fight. But there is Lucia is the one that had the light
He said, who you
on her
talking about?
head. Anybody in the chat who knows Lucia?
Somebody knows who you're talking about. Somebody.
Yeah, somebody needs to know that. That's what it's called.
Okay,
But
so you wanted to
she's a
be,
lady.
so
She
you
was
wanted to be,
carrying the light.
okay,
Her
you wanted to
head.
be Jesus's mother.
No, not her. She was the one with the baby. No, I don't want to be her. I wanted to be with the one with the candles. That was Lucia.
Why did you want to be Lucia?
I don't know. She had pretty dress and she had pretty lights on her hair, you know. I didn't want to be the gingerbread. But I really didn't know that I was the gingerbread because I was brown. Because I wasn't the only gingerbread. It was other people, but I was every year. But I think it was because I was brown. But then again, yeah, so, you know, hearing that, and I also remember one time when we were on, you know, when we went to, I think it was skiing or something in the woods or something like that with the teachers. And I remember this teacher told me that I wouldn't become anything because I was brown. She was a teacher. Hmm. So, yeah.
How long did that stay with you when she told you that?
I think until my 20s, really.
Your 20s.
Hmm. Even though I was like, you know, doing everything. But in a sense, though, you know, if you think about it, it pushed me also to the opposite. If somebody tell me, like, you can't do it, it doesn't work like that for me.
So how did it push you?
It pushed me because of, I always felt like, she said I was a failure. So every time I feel like I'm failing, I'll pick myself up to prove that person wrong. Yeah, so
So
it did really help me somehow.
so every time you're doing headstands, you're proving her wrong.
Yeah. It's more of, you know, when normally I would say, like, for example, schools, I never fell on exam. Never. And I think it's because of those teachers that made me that way. Like, I've never failed any exam. It doesn't matter, you know, I can come with a D if I want to, but I never failed. And I think that's because of them. They used to think, okay, you fail, or you're this, or because you're brown, you become this, or whatever. Then I made sure I never failed class. Yeah. And it stayed with me forever. Like, as an adult, even when I was a student, I would never fail any exams. Even if I've never been to the class, I'll go to the exam and I'll pass. So yeah, it pushed me a little bit in that kind of sense because I always wanted to just prove them wrong.
So, you know, when there's people, and we know people in society. I mean, we've seen different celebrities, different people who people would see as successful, like Oprah or anybody who has done and achieved so many things. A lot of them came from a place of low self-esteem where they had a feeling of being a failure, which gave them such drive and such determination and such, you know, inspired them with such tenacity and audacity to do the opposite,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to always, like you said, to pick themselves back up time and time again and to just trudge forward.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a different outlook on those words that she gave you that day, even though she was putting you down? Do you see how things have come back around?
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Not only her, like it's so many different scenarios. I feel like it's just coming back around. But it also depends on your mindset. I always say this, like, if it wasn't me, it would be different. Certain things, if it wasn't me, it would be different because it's just my mindset. You know, someone with a similar mindset may have, you know, gone through the same way, but we're not the same, all of us. So someone would really get hurt by that. Because I have to, even if I was hurt, you know, I have to give myself up and up. You know, not everybody can do that. So, yeah. Hey, Diana.
Hey, Diana, because you also said that it pushed you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it gave you a push, it gave you a nudge, you know,
Yes.
and it allowed you to trudge through adversity, to overcome obstacles, you know, and get past things that other people might not have gotten past. When you say that it pushed you in that way, who would you be today if not for those words? Like if you hadn't been told you would amount to nothing, that you would be nothing, you are nothing, and hadn't had those words influence you in such a way, would you be who we see today?
I've thought about that too. I think I would have even better, you know, really. Because I think I've always been me, even though those words have just pushed me to something. But I would have done it maybe differently. Like, because even though if these things push me, they're very settled within me, you know? It's not like I overcome them, even though I was, every time I did something and I wanted to like feel like, oh, I'm failing, and I didn't want that to happen because the failing wasn't any of my plan on anything. Then the moment I'm thinking about that person or whoever that said that, that means like they're still in my system. You know, so it's very settled. Even though it's pushing you, it's there. So you have to, it has to go away. So when it goes away, then I will get back to the original me before those words hurt me.
Okay, so was it like poison? Was it like poison in your system that you had to extract, that you had to let go so that you could come back?
Kind of. Kind of. It's just an acceptance, you know, why did it even hurt me? You know? Why did it even affect me? Because I didn't know better, right? So now when I know better, I can let go. Yeah. I just didn't know, you know. Words cannot affect me today. They're just words. They're just words.
Wow. So when you know better, you let go better.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you hold on to, you will realize like there was no point in the first place. So
Yeah, someone once told me in the Beehive, they said that holding a grudge, especially a grudge against someone else, is almost like drinking poison and waiting for another person to
mm-hmm.
die.
That's
It's like
exactly what it is.
it doesn't do anything to them, but it eats you up inside.
Yes.
You know?
And even like anger is the same. You know, you get angry about someone's words and whatever they said, but you're the only one suffering inside. You're the one like getting angry. The person is not angry. They just said a word and left. But you're the one with the feelings and everything. But you're creating all of that also, right? So yeah, it's like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. That's the truth. Yeah. I don't hold grudge. Really, I don't. I've learned that when I was a little girl. There's no point. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you stop suffering.
It's just unnecessary to just hold grudge towards other people. Like it happened already. The event happened.
Mhm.
You know, if you can't do anything about it, why would you hold on to it? There's no point.
Why do you feel people do hold on to things like that instead of simply letting them go? Why is it not always so simple?
Because it's something within, that needs more attention than whatever that's going on. Actually, there's something within. Because for someone else's words to have an effect on you, it's just affecting something that's within you. It's not something that they just made up right now. If somebody said something to me right now that's out of, anything that's aligned with me, has no place inside of me, I wouldn't get affected by it unless it's already within something dormant within me that they wake. And then it's like waking up a beast within yourself. But other than that, it shouldn't have any effect. But it's something within you, so that's why it has an effect. It's already there.
Like what comes out is what's inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like you squeeze orange, you're gonna get orange juice.
Exactly.
You're never gonna see pineapple juice coming out of an orange.
Exactly. 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 That's the truth. Yeah.
Like these combinations you've been putting together, the grape and pear, you
Oh my.
know. But you saw that there was a combination you put together that didn't
Mm-hmm.
mix.
Not
One sat on top of the other.
yeah. Not everything go together. So yeah. Yeah, you saw that mix. I don't even want to think about it.
So when you saw that it didn't mix, what did you do with that didn't mix? What did you do with that batch?
I had to throw it away. I, I really did. I just wasted a lot of grapes, and then I put kiwi and pear, and then they don't go together.
But was it wasted? If you
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't if you saw it didn't mix, it didn't go together, so it didn't flow together. So you decided not to taste it.
Yeah.
Was it wasted?
In a sense, somehow that experience was necessary too, because I want to do it again. And now I know, like, okay, these two fruits don't go together. I can drink them separately. But it's the same with a lot of things too. Not everything go together. Some things works by themselves alone.
Now we're going into loneliness.
Yeah.
some
Loneliness is a mindset.
some things work by themselves alone, you said.
Yeah, they do. Actually, they work best alone. And then you can match with whatever that's aligned with it. So let's say, like, the grape, I could have drink by itself. The pineapple by itself, it's fine. But I can mix a little bit with something that goes with it. And it just becomes a little extra. But they're good by themselves, right? Same with us. We're always good by ourselves, you know. It's the truth. But then we think it's like lonely and alone and blah, blah. No, it's not the same. I love to be alone. I do.
So when you're good by yourself, you don't need extra.
No, but you can have a little flavor if you want to.
Come on now, talk about it.
Have a little flavor, just like the fruits. Yeah,
Put a little flavor in the pot.
exactly. Why not? Why not? Oh my God, my setting today. So sorry.
I
Yeah,
love that. You know, I love that you.
everything flows.
Yes.
Some things, if they don't flow, just don't go, and it's fine. It's fine. Just like that fruit, it's fine. Some people would drink that and think like, oh, it's fine. That's how it mixes inside too, but it's not. What if it's doing some separation inside of me? Like, oh, we don't go together. Just like on the outside.
Right. Because I'm sure that you've been amongst others or been around another who would look at something and say, you better drink that, or don't waste that,
It's
you
not
know.
waste. You wasting it inside of you. It's
Now
like,
you become waste, you know. It's like, instead of throwing this into the garbage, now you feel like garbage.
oh my goodness. I really never understood that. I've heard that so many times. Don't waste this. Don't waste food. You know, I I never understood that. So if you put it in a garbage, or if you put it in this garbage, like, which one is waste? You know, this one is the waste. You putting garbage inside of yourself is a waste. But you see how the mind works? Don't throw that away. It's food. Like, we worship food. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Wow. So it's almost like you become the waste basket.
Hmm. It's like choosing that I'm the waste basket instead of throwing it outside. It's ridiculous. It never made sense to me. So, okay, if you don't want to waste it, what do you want to do? You want to give it to a homeless person? I give it to the birds. I just throw it out there. You know, I didn't waste it. The birds ate it, but to put it inside of yourself, I could never. I could never. You know, I have a story. I went to Berlin for a week with this friend of mine, and she's like very strict with her money and stuff. You know, like, very. I've never seen anybody so frugal. You know, like, to the point where she would not even, like, leave the restaurant before she ate whatever she bought. Even if she don't want it, she would force herself. So I almost lost my flight because she had a soup in her hand and she's like, no, I don't want to waste it. I have to eat it. I paid for it. I'm like, throw that thing away. I'm losing. I don't want to miss my flight. I was so pissed. She really wanted to put that waste inside of herself instead of just throwing it away and run to the plane.
Because she already paid for it?
Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm wasting my money, But now you want to eat it, but what? I don't want to waste my flight. It's weird, but she knew also, like, okay, there was a bigger deal to miss that flight, but it was just a mind thing. She really had to put that garbage inside of herself, and then that's the only way she will feel like she used her money wisely. It didn't make sense, but I have seen that.
Okay. Okay. So that's how she rationalized it. She said, okay, I have to consume all of this because I've already paid, you know,
She went double paid.
but now she's going to pay again, you know,
Yes,
she's going
she's
to
gonna
pay
pay
twice, pay two times.
exactly. Imagine not seeing it that way. Like, when you go to McDonald's, for example, and you go for a cheap meal, like, imagine, like, that cheap is like you are being cheap on yourself. So if it costs you more, it will cost you your life. That cheapness will cost your life, but you don't see it. You don't see it. You see $3.99. No, that $3.99 is your grave. It's like, it's the truth. Keep on going there over and over again because of $3.99. That's being cheap on yourself.
No, I used to, that the dollar menu, I'm not ashamed to say it, you know, that was the daily dollar menu. There was the double cheeseburgers, the hot and spices,
Ooh,
the apple
I can
pies,
imagine you
the
eating that.
French fries, the chicken nuggets. There was a lot of stuff. I was ignorant. I didn't know. But you know, I remember listening to Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters, Diving Deep, for those who know, you
Yeah,
know, breathing in that good ass prana. Can I get a hello there?
yeah. I used to listen.
And Ralph Smart would tell us, you know, 7 day vegan challenge. And he would just slip it in every video, even if the video had nothing to do about healthy living, healthy diet, or being vegan. He would always slip it in somehow, some way. 7 day vegan challenge, you know, deep divers, 7 day vegan challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he said, somebody was like, man, you know, vegan is so expensive. Like, it's so hard. It's so expensive to be vegan. And he said, deep divers, do you know the price of a heart attack?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is truth.
You know, do you know how much, you know, like, do you know the price? So it made me think twice when I started to think of the price, you know, at what cost, what is gained and what is lost,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, I wish everybody could see it that way. The food industry is definitely not your friend. Everything is business. Pharmaceuticals business, food is business. It's like, and your investment is you. Then, you have to invest in yourself. Meaning like, okay, if you're going to work every day, at least do something good for your temple, for your body. Invest in that. But we don't see that. We invest in cars, houses, and everything else outside of ourselves. Right? And then we go for, look like Nicki Minaj, she got a lot of money, but she go to Wendy's. It's like, come on now. Where is your money going? You go to Wendy's and eat those burgers, right? It makes no sense. Donald Trump had what? KFC, and he had KFC to the White House one time, or what? Was it McDonald's? They had a McDonald's, but it's the same. People have money, but they think they have to invest in it on the outside. They don't know how much damage they're doing to themselves just by making those choices because it's cheaper. It's this, it's that.
So viewing yourself as a temple, viewing your body as a temple, as something holy, something
It
sacred,
is holy.
you know?
The only thing you got here. That's the only thing that have you here. Without it, you're not even here. So, like, your house can still be here and you not be here, But the only thing that keeps you together in this reality is your body. So it's your vehicle. So imagine, like, buying. Some people will even put like premium oil on their cars and then go and drink Coca-Cola. Like, where is that going? Like, you just putting that fuel into yourself and then that fuel into that car. It doesn't make sense. But people do that. They walk it. That's why I say, like, people walking, climbing out of Ferraris, like slow people climbing out of fast cars. They think they're fast because they're in the car, but they're like, oh, you come out of the car. Like, that's your vehicle. This is your vehicle. Why are you in a Ferrari? It makes no sense. This should be fast. And you can be in a bucket if you want to, but this should be fast. It's the mindset.
I remember listening to, there was a Russian lady named Anastasia,
Mm-hmm.
and she's all about autonomy. And she looked at cars as moving wheelchairs. Like they're like fast wheelchairs.
Ooh,
Because and when I thought of the image of a wheelchair, because what are you doing? You're just sitting there. You're not really moving. Your body's not flexing. You're not stretching. You're just moving from place to place, but especially for long periods,
Mm-hmm.
And so it was at that point that I realized, oh yeah, you're not really using your body to its full capacity. You're just kind of sitting there, even though you are getting there, So you're getting there, but you're just sitting there.
Yeah, it's the truth. I don't like driving like that.
So it made me want to walk a lot more, and that's why I enjoy walking, because it feels good to feel good. Yeah.
I used to walk years and years and years, and someone would say, like, you're destroying your ankles or your knees or this or that. I'm like, no, sitting in the car is what damage you. Sitting in the car and just, like, using those muscles and, like, just being alert all the time also. You don't know you are, but you are actually, being you're in a different world. You're using too many, muscles and stuff that you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be in a relaxed mode. But we just, driving, looking at this driver, like dealing with each driver on the road is even like work. We shouldn't be doing that. Really, but we drive like robots. Like, even when I look at traffic, I think about sometimes, I'm like, even the craziest person will follow those rules. Even a killer that just went and killed maybe a whole family will be stop on a red light. It's a program. You know, we sit in wheelchairs and then we follow this program. I like that wheelchair analogy that she had. Yeah, it's part of.
Wow. Wow. So being able to use your body to its full capacity, being able to express yourself to your full potential,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Just like the phones are making us dumber now. I think when the car came out, a lot of, you know, our physical ability got distorted, you know, a lot. Just getting on the bus. Like even when you're on the horse, you know, when people are on horses and stuff, you still exercising. Your body is actually doing something. You know, your body's doing something and you are on something that's alive. But the cars, the buses, and all of those kind of stuff are just to make us, you know, I don't know, like to hide the skills that we have naturally. You can't express anything in your full capacity if you just, you know, relying on tools all the time.
Okay, so it's almost like, why learn teleportation when we have so much transportation?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why learn telepathy when we have this communication?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So everything is an imitation of what we already have,
Mm.
but
Mm.
it's like on the outside of ourselves. This world is designed outside for us to look outside. So whatever that's on the inside, we are viewing on the outside. And then we created tools for it, you know? Like we don't need this phone for you and me to talk. Yeah, we don't need it. We really don't. Like it's an energy. We are energy. So we don't need that. But you know, we have to create tools that are our ability that's already there. So it's crazy, but we can exercise those things. Like for example, if you get away from your phone, you can exercise those abilities, you know, remembering stuff. Now everybody, Siri, what is the time? Like you can't even look at the time. You can't even what day is it, Siri? Like some people would just ask like, what day is it, Siri? You know? I'm sure they do. You don't have a sense of the reality even because of these tools. But we were fine without them. And I think way, 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 way before that, we didn't need all of this. We had all of this, and now we created something outside that imitates what we really are.
Wow, Nabiha. Well, thank you. You know, thank you for always staying true to your rules. You know, true to your tools, and true to the things that you have inside. You know,
You too. You,
thank you for always raising the vibe out here.
you too. That's what you're doing. I'm just here, just being. Really. We just have to be. I don't understand when people say I'm doing something. I'm not doing anything. I'm really not doing anything. I'm just saying some stuff, you know, but
You 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 know, to me, you might not think you're doing anything. You're doing everything.
yeah,
You know,
we do nothing and everything. That's true.
you're doing everything. So, thank you.
Thank you, John. All right. I have only one hand. That's holding up the phone. Thank you. And I talk to you soon. Thank you, everyone, for being here. All right.